Hello class 1, welcome to your beeswax lesson. Today we have another story for you that is from the same book. You will need to get your colours ready, and it's the two colours that you have left. You will have a piece of red that looks like this with the plastic on. Don't forget to take the plastic off it in preparation for your lesson. And you will also have a piece of blue, a small piece of blue, and don't forget to take the plastic off that too. I would like you, while you're getting that ready, to listen to our little song. Okay, so we have our red and our blue, and before you put them into the palm of your hands, we are going to do a little warming of our hands. It is winter time, and during the winter time our hands are very cold. And the fingertips, get them ready for their moulding. Thumb, pointer, tall man, ring man, pinky, and back again. One more time, thumb, pointer, tall man, ring man, pinky, pinky, ring man, tall man, pointer, thumb. Okay, now rub them one more time. Now that your hands are nice and warm, I'm going to be placing my red piece into the palm of my hand, and I'm going to be placing my blue piece in the warmth of under my arm. Okay, now that we're holding our beeswax beautifully in the palm of our hand, we will do our verse. From the bees, this gift of gold is here for us to warm and hold. Fragrant beeswax in my hand is full of goodness from the land. Today's story is from our lovely book, Earthly Delights. These are stories from the southern land, which is Australia. And this story is by an author called Aviponon Kipaparata. Now, it's called The Kite. You may have heard this story before, but that's okay. It's really nice to hear stories a second time. I'll hold up a picture for you. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who had a smile as bright as a sunflower. Everybody loved him. The sun warmed him during the day, and the moon shone down on him all through the night. The boy had gentle but strong hands. He could pat his pony gently, and it loved him dearly. He could hammer nails and always helped Daddy fix things on his farm. One day, the boy received a special gift from his grandfather. It was a kite, the first kite the boy had ever had. It was red with a circle on it. Sorry, it was blue with a yellow circle on it and a long red tail. The boy's grandfather took him out and taught him to fly it. They had such fun together. When all the leaves had turned yellow gold and were beginning to fall, the little boy went out to fly his kite in a nearby field. He ran and ran until the kite rose up high into the sky. As he looked up, the kite flew and flew higher and higher until the string ran out of his hands. The strong wind blew the boy's kite far, far away from him. He ran after it until he could run no more. Then he sat down under a tree and wept. The kite was gone, and he did not know what to do. Above his head, he heard a bird singing. The bird said, "Little boy, why are you crying?" "My kite flew away. I want it back so much. Do you know which way it went?" "I can fly to the wind and ask her," said the bird. The bird flew away to the wind and asked, "Wind, wind, do you know where the boy's kite went?" "Sorry, bird, I don't know. I just blow and blow. I don't have any eyes to see." Then the bird turned to the sun. "Sun, sun, do you know where the boy's kite went?" "Sorry, bird, I don't know. I just shine and shine brightly all the time." Then the bird went to the water and asked, "Water, water, do you know where the boy's kite went?" "Sorry, bird, I don't know. I just flow and flow freely every day." At last the bird went to Mother Earth and asked, Mother Earth, do you know where the boy's kite went?" "Tell him to go home, and there he will find a surprise," said Mother Earth. The bird flew back to the boy and told him to go home. The boy walked slowly. The sun, the wind, and the water were sad that the boy no longer smiled as brightly as a sunflower. But a surprise awaited the boy. When the little boy came home, his grandfather was sitting in front of the house, waiting for him. He smiled kindly and with his hands behind his back said to the boy, "Dear grandson, I have special news for you. This morning, while you were flying your kite, I was working in the field when the wind blew up, whirling around me, and dropped something at my feet." The grandfather took his hands from behind his back, and in them was the wonderful kite. The boy gave his grandfather his bright and beautiful smile, the smile that everyone, even the sun and the moon, loved to see. So our story has a kite that is blue with red string, but we are going to make our kite red with blue string, and that is because we have a bigger piece of red, we have a bigger piece of red than we do blue. So get your red now and roll it into a ball. And then from that ball that you've made, you are going to form the shape of a kite. A kite is a particular shape. It has 4 sides and 4 points. It's kind of like a diamond. So we are going to flatten our ball a bit. And as that ball flattens, it kind of takes more of a circle shape, but you want points, so you start to draw a point out from the top of one part of your circle, and you draw another point out from the other end, and then you draw a point out from either side. And you want to try and make sure that your points are opposite each other. So if you see there, this point is opposite this point, and this point is opposite this point. And we want our kite to be smooth, so mine's a bit lumpy at the moment. So I'm going to smooth it and make it the most beautiful kite or diamond shape that I can muster. And once I'm happy with my kite shape, I stop. So you can have your kite as big as you like. Mine is rather thick, but you can make yours thinner if you want by spreading it out more and more. And once you've got that, you need to get your bit of blue beeswax. And this bit is where you are going to, you don't need to roll this one in a ball. You're going to make it as thin as you can, so you squash it into like a log shape, and you keep squashing and pulling. As I pull it out, it becomes longer and thinner. And see here, it's got a bit of a thin piece right here, and it's fatter there. So if you get thin bits, leave them there and then work on the fatter bits, and try and draw it out as much as you can by pulling on it, either end. Pull a little bit and hold it together and pull out. Keep pulling out and working slowly so that you can get, oh, mine broke. And that's okay. Breaking is fine. You don't want it to break too many times, but I'm going to have 2 pieces of string coming off my kite. So now I'm going to be really careful not to break it anymore. I'm going to put one of my pieces down and keep going with this one as much as I can. And when you feel like it's thin enough and you don't want to go any thinner, then you can stop. And just work slowly on it. As you squish it together along, squishing and pulling slightly, it will get longer and longer until it can become a part of your kite. So that one I'm going to leave and go to my other piece now, because our kite is going to have 2 strings. So I will work on this piece, pulling it and squeezing it and making it thinner and longer in the most gentlest way that I can. I snapped a little bit there, and if that happens, you can just get the 2 bits and place them back, overlap them and squeeze them back together. So it's back together like that. So don't feel like if it breaks that that's the end. You can always join it back up. And once I've got it nice and thin, a length and a thinness that I'm happy with, I'm going to go back to my other piece, and I'm going to join it like this, just on one side, pushing it on so that your other side, you can't see where it joins. So just stuck like that. And then I am going to add something at the top to make it look like it's tied on. So I'm going to break a bit off the bottom of my strings, and I'm going to put a little tie like that and like that, sticking them on the back so that the kite looks like the string has been tied on And you can give it a little flick up like that. And the string can, the string's getting a bit hard now because the room is very cold in here, so I'm going to leave mine to be long. And there we have my bits stuck on the back, and from the front they look like they are tied to the kite. And the kite can fly through the air. You need to hang on to a kite by the strings, don't you? Okay. I will leave you to work some further on your kite if you'd like. If your room is nice and warm, you can start to make your long strings wave a little bit. If it's gone hard already, just leave it, otherwise it might snap. And I would love to see photos of your beautiful kites. So if your parents or some adult that you have with you in the room, if they could send a photo via email so I can see your beautiful kites, that would be lovely. And enjoy your day. Bye, class 1.